is because we have these things in geometry theorems. Okay, the Pythagorean theorem didn't actually prove it. A theorem is something that we know is true because we can prove it to be true. We're building up a story, or we're true things, I guess, is kind of a way of doing it. So we start with the postulates. Okay, they're these things that we don't know where they come from, but we just we know that they're true. And then by using these postulates, these known things that we now assume are facts, and use them, we can put them together and prove theorems. And then we can take those theorems and use them, put them together to prove. It keeps going and keeps going and keeps going, and by the time you're done, you have everything there is in geometry. We have all this big set of theorems, all these relationships are true because we've been able to prove them. You go down to the bottom, there isn't anything left to use to prove stuff with. So we have there are these things that are like, okay, things are true, and are, then okay. With the figures, there are certain things when you guys were doing that exercise today, there are certain things that you could assume to be true and certain things that you weren't. You couldn't. We had no proof of each one of them. We were just able to kind of logically explain it, why it makes sense. But the two points exist exactly on the line. Does that make sense? I can't put a second different line through the same 2 points because I would be drawing right over the first one, and that's the same line. That's all that one says. Points. Does that make sense? It's going to do, otherwise I wouldn't be able to draw. It could be all sorts of just one. If two lines, does that make sense? 2 lines have to cross at a point. That's what that says. 4. Through any 3 linear points, there exists exactly one plane. We've talked about that, right? Every plane wouldn't be able to. Okay. Just look. Line plane, then the line containing them also lies in the plane. Does that make sense? If you've got a plane and 2 points that are sitting on it, and you draw a line that connects it in that plane. Okay? We can't prove that, but it's true. We know that's true. Also something we've talked about before, just didn't give it a name. If 2 intersect a line. We talked about that in chapter 1, right? If we have 2 planes cross, then where those 2 planes cross each other is going to form a line. Okay. with sort of diagrams and such here, so you can reference it real quick. But which of those postulates is this an example of in this sentence here? Let's have somebody else. Right? There. Not actually. Yep. It's the plane. Yeah. That is the points, right? My hypothesis is the plane. I'm starting with the plane. I'm saying if you have a plane, then you got 3 points in it, right? Instead of saying if you have 3 points, then you have a plane that goes around them. So it's kind of a, I know, a little bit of a small detail there, but yep.
So if you wrote it with the plane, with the points first,
Mm-hmm.
and you play second, would that be 3-point calculation?
The 3-point possibility, 3 points, same as this. Points that are in there together. But then, yeah, it would. Can someone give me an example? Yes. Set it there. So word that with this particular one. Yeah.
Point C and D are on the
We're going to spend the rest of our time